Welcome back to another edition of the Chef Knives to Go Quick Look Product Reviews. I'm Steve Gamache, and this time we are looking at the Masakage Kiri Nakiri knife, a 165 millimeter. This lineup in the Masakage arsenal has VG10 stainless as its core steel, so that's a very widely used stainless steel used in a lot of knife lines and companies, and this one has a heat treat of about 61 and 62 Rockwell, so they do a nice job with their heat treat on this. The construction is a multi-layered kind of a Damascus-style cladding on either side of that core steel, so you get kind of a frosted effect. It is soft stainless cladding, so maybe some nickel in there, but it's a all stainless blade. The weight on this is about 163 grams and 5.7 ounces. So these weights and dimensions will vary just a little bit from knife to knife. So it's kind of a medium weight Nakiri. The blade length about 6.5 inches, 165, and the overall length about 12.6 inches of the whole knife. The spine thickness coming out of the handle above the back of the edge, which is called the chin, is going to vary a little bit, but on this one it's about 3.3 millimeters, and it thins down pretty rapidly, and then thins down a little bit more, and then holds that towards the end of the blade. The handle type is the same one they use on the Yuki line, so it's their oval magnolia main handle, and then the ferrule is red packawood, so it's a nice effect. And good fit and finish on this handle, very comfortable, very smooth, nice handle install. The circumference is about 3 inches right here, and where the ferrule meets the wood, and pretty standard size handle. Masakage has their pretty signature curved neck or imoto into the choil or the back of the blade, and it has a little touch of a back sweep to the chin of the blade or the back of the heel, and that's their style. So this makes for a wonderful spot for your finger for a pinch grip, gives you loads of room, and you've got lots of room for a pinch grip, plenty of height here, so these blades tend to run pretty tall. It's their style of creating nakiris, and so if you like a big, tall blade for scooping lots of product, this is a nice option. Here is a look at the cladding, and you can see the core steel peeking through at the edge. Masakage always puts a real nice hand-chiseled kanji maker's mark on their knives, and this one is no exception. And with a good finish like this, it'll kind of dance around in the light as you move the knife around, which is a pretty cool effect in person. It's a little hard to show on video. But these are just nicely finished, good finish on the spine and the curve here of the neck into the choil. So ready to rock and roll right out of the box. They have a real nice edge on them, as is typical. These are a good solid 6 out of 10 on the edge, and which is usually the case with Masakage knives. The balance point on this is going to be just a little bit in front of, pretty close to a pinch grip, maybe slightly in front, because it's a big blade and a pretty light handle, and gives you a little bit of mass for cutting power. Let's take a look at it on the board. These are really nice looking knives in person, and the VG10 that they produce has a good heat treat on it, so it's not the same as some of the big house knives and the more mass-produced knives, some of them. But here's your profile, really nicely done, got just a touch of belly to it, curved tip or end, so easy to rock short stuff. If you want to cut scallions and stuff, some herbs, chives, easy to do that. But here's your profile. Nice grind on these, pretty much 50-50 on the edge and the grind. Lefty-righty friendly, although really most knives are that aren't single beveled. And you've got the grind kind of comes in. You can pretty much see that a little bit with the cladding layer starting to tighten up, but that's kind of where the grind starts in. And so it's a low enough grind where you get a decent product separation off of it, but it's not a sharp shoulder like some of the knives you see, especially some of the Kudauchi styles. You'll see a really sharp shoulder on them. This doesn't have that kind of style. It's kind of a rounded, contoured pretty nicely. So beautiful blade. They're real nice to look at. Good performers, and again, got some height to them. If you want a similar blade to this in a Shidogami #2, you can look at the Yuki line. If you want all reactive, you can look at the Shimo line. If you want Aogami Super with a Kudauchi finish and a hammered look, you can look at the Koishi line. So they're fairly similar in style and weight, roughly. So great knives. So there you have the Masakage Kiri Nakiri 165 millimeter knife.